In this video, a customer brought in one of the world's sexiest, biggest, and more expensive RC cars out there, and we're going to build it, drive it, and unfortunately burn it. Grab a cold one, you guys will enjoy this one. Welcome, FG Motorsports 4-wheel drive Sportsline 530 Electro 5th scale. God damn! Here we go. Alright, so in this car we're going to install a Castle Creations 2028 1100 kV, obviously a nice XLX2 and some China hobby lines that they provided. This thing is a beast, guys. We have Shahar in the house today. He actually joined me for the installation of this FG, so that's pretty cool. I didn't want to bore you guys, but let me just walk you through it. Castle Creations 2028 1100 kV. I shortened the wires and the QS8 sits as short as they can with a nice bridge here. Obviously, I did a nice dealio here on the actual switch. 5th scale servo. Every wire in the car is obviously heat shrinked and fixed to the chassis. Everything ended up being super clean. I'm just gonna try and give you guys some different angles. I ended up putting a gyro in this car, of course. Car is censored, so smooth. I love it. Anyway, let's deliver it to the customer and hopefully he will read. I can just end the video right here and you guys will never know. Finish it nice, smooth, sleek, call it a day, everyone's happy. But it will go against everything I believe as a YouTuber, as a presenter, as a builder. What happens next holds valuable information that might save your equipment one day. I already know that thousands of you guys will watch this video. Some of you will own this car or something similar. Let's roll the tape. There's something I want you to see. How did that happen? How could I be so wrong? It's impossible. I've done it before many times. How could I be so off my calculations on this one? Am I just giving myself a hard time? Was it just a defective unit? Just a bad ESC and that's it? Maybe. Possibly. You know what? Probably. But it's just not gonna cut it, man. It just doesn't satisfy me enough. I'm not going anywhere on this one. Not without a fight. Not without a scientific explanation of what the hell just happened here. I stripped down the car, cleaned it real nice, switched my mind into hypersensitive mode, and here we go. First thing that I noticed and thought was odd is that FG themselves in the manual are asking users to use a maximum of 4 cells. Now that I dig deeper just to really analyze what the hell is going on, for this specific model, 4S on this behemoth. But why? How does it even make sense? And then it hit me. This is the model that comes without actual brakes, physical brakes. So if you're considering one of those, you might want to consider purchasing a brake kit for it, if you ask my opinion, if you want to go super hard. If you really think about it, braking and stopping this Airbus generates just as much heat and resistance on the motor as accelerating it. So not having actual brakes on it, twice the heat when you accelerate and when you stop. On smaller cars, it's somewhat not as noticeable-ish, but on this one, 25 pounds, it's a potato sack. Another thing that I noticed and didn't like is that there is a noticeable resistance from the belt system. So learn from my mistakes, guys, trust and believe, break it in if you buy one. Just don't push it too hard on the first set of batteries like I did because, well, this is the result I learned the hard way. Maybe even run it on a stand for the first sets of batteries just until that brand new belt tension, I guess, goes away a little bit. Alright, power plant. Unfortunately, I couldn't recover any information to give me a clear picture of what happened because it just won't talk to me and probably got something to do with me burning it yesterday. Plan B, diving into the books and schematics. I found my ratio, I can probably work with that, so let's see what we got here. Differential pinion gear is 14. Differential spur gear is 48, not to confuse with the normal pinion and spur of the car, which gives the FG Sportsline 4-wheel drive 530 Electro a transfer ratio of 3.428. This is the point I'm losing most of you guys, but for those who care, stick around. Awesome, thank you for doing so. Being that we're using the stock pinion and spur provided with the kit, which are 20-tooth pinion and 44-tooth spur, our calculation is still within range of my initial instincts. So I wasn't that wrong. An 8S setup using the Castle Creations 2028 and 1100 kV should only give us about 50 miles an hour or so, after calculating, of course, the tire diameter of 118mm and compensating for some voltage drop here and there. Now, to be fair, if you really want to go crazy nuts with these ones, you can. You'll have to call your bank manager first, but you definitely can. This car easily entertains a monstrous 12S setup. As a matter of fact, two of my buddies did just that, and their cars are unbefreaking-livable. Definitely nuts, but if we're trying to stay within a reasonable price, I guess, and functionality, we pretty much have two options. Either you use my personal favorite, which is the Castle Creations XLX2, or you provide less top-end power, which can be achieved by using, for example, a Hobbywing Max 5. I'm not a huge fan of it. I believe Castle Creation has a lot more to offer and much more advanced technology, and you get a lot more for your money, but this is the exact scenario, operating such a heavy car in nothing but a parking lot or a closed track, that you might want to consider. You might not need a state-of-the-art equipment. You might not need extreme top-end power. You might actually benefit, to be honest, from just a limited system like the Hobbywing. Yes, surely you will sacrifice top speed. You won't be able to read data log, of course, and many other things that you can't do with a Hobbywing. You will be delivering much less top-end power and only be focusing on short bursts at a time, to be honest. But in this exact scenario, it might actually be the only thing this car wants before it bites back. Again, something to consider because top-end speed will be substantially reduced versus the Castle Creations. Think of it like this. You're in Vegas, for example, and you're about to go downstairs and visit the casino. You plan on staying there for, let's just say, 20 minutes, right? And you open up your not-so-safe safe in your hotel room, and you have an option. It's either you pull $200 out of it, just like 200 amps, or you pull $600 out of it, just like 600 amps. You're still going to have a blast for 20 minutes. It might not be as grand, you might not roll in a Bentley or sit at the high roller lounge, but if this specific casino only allows small bets at a time, you might not feel the difference. Something to actually think about. There is, however, a third option, my favorite option. You will show up in a Bentley and you will sit at the high limit lounge, but you will only elect to use some of your money and not all of it. Alright, back at the shop. So I stand behind my builds. I'm probably going to lose money here, of course. I'm going to provide the customer with a brand new ESC and redo the entire installation work for free. You win some, you lose some, you know the drill. It's just life, right? Guys, thank you so much. I know you have the option of what content you watch on YouTube, and you guys elected to give me your time. So thank you. I don't take it for granted. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. That sure helps the algorithm understand that I'm worth them. If you have any idea of your own, please. I love the comments. I love the engagement. Write me a comment. And if you want to see more of what I do, consider subscribing. I'm Raz Shifrin. I really appreciate you guys. Again, really appreciate your time. I hope I gave you some information here. I'm out. See ya.